Have you ever been stuck, felt like you can't express things, maybe have some writer's block? Well, Alison had just that. She agreed to be a Metaphors of Movement demo, so we did a session live on Facebook. And if you stay for a few moments, you'll get to see how that demo went. And we caught up a week later to find out what actual results she got from the whole process. So if you're curious, if you're interested, check it out, and I'll catch you soon. We are live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. For those here joining for Metaphors of Movement demonstration, thank you for coming. If you're here and you're ready to watch, do feel free to type in the chat comment. For those of you who know idioms, feel free to chuck them away if any come during the session itself. And yeah, if you're watching the replay, type the word replay because it'd be great to know who's watching. So today I am joined by the fabulous Alison. Alison, thank you for joining. Great to have you here. So Alison, you've done Metaphors of Movement before, correct?
Yes.
Cool. So Alison is not a noob, so to speak, to the whole process. I think you said you did it a fair few years ago, 2017, something like that. Cool. So Alison is aware of the process. Thank you for the heart. Loving that you're watching. So we're going to talk about a topic. Now, Alison's given me a little pre-frame, but what we're going to do is we're going to explore what that topic is, what that challenge is, and then we're going to go straight in. Sound good to you, Alison?
Sounds great.
So what's the problem we're exploring today? What's the problem that you're bringing to us?
Well, I have been struggling with writer's block for the last several years.
Writer's block. I mean, so, but what's the actual problem?
Oh, the problem is I can't think myself out of a box. The problem
Okay.
is when I try to write, it's all comes out in scribbles. Um,
Okay. So you don't type it in. It all comes out in scribbles. Okay. And
yeah.
and if you didn't have this problem, what would it be like?
Oh my gosh, it'd be amazing. I'd be speaking again. Probably my business would be up and running again. I would be so much would be opened up for me again.
Okay, cool. And so you've got this writer's block. So talk me through what goes on. So you sit in there, you're about to do stuff. What happens?
Um, so so first of all, I tend to be an innovator, not an inventor, and this is why when I go to try to write something, literally all I see is a blank. Like everything goes white. Everything just
Gotcha.
goes white. Lots of white.
Okay. Everything goes white. Okay. Sweet. So essentially, if things didn't go white, you'd be all white. Or would you be all white? I don't know if you'd be all white. Okay, cool. So I think we've got enough to start with. So let's just give it a go. So this whole thing, this writer's block, this
Mm-hmm.
whole writer's block, what's that like?
Oh, that's funny because I've thought about it before, but just now, the first thing that came to me is heavy.
Heavy like what?
Yeah, let me think a minute. Heavy like a ginormous concrete, white concrete brick, like
Okay.
black, huge.
And where is this block relative to you?
I'm trying to hold it. I'm trying to
So
hold it.
are you holding it?
Uh,
'Cause
yeah, so it's right in front of me, and yes, I'm holding it.
okay, so you're holding it with both hands.
Yeah.
What's to your left?
Uh, okay. Wait, so left. Sorry, that was right. I just need a second. Okay, so there are so different. Okay, so nothing is clear, but there's different. It's kind of like a gray, foggy day.
Cool. And what's
And
to your
then as it
what's
goes
what?
down, there's a little bit more color as it goes down towards the ground. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool. And what's to your right?
Um, I hear I hear some like wild animal sounds. Uh, and
Cool.
I can't quite see through what that is, but all kinds of wild animal sounds, like zoos or jungles or yeah,
Okay,
it's a little
cool.
scary.
And what's behind you?
Uh, a large white cliff. Uh, so the rock has some sparkles in it. So like
How lovely.
not like the cliffs of Dover because it's more sheer, but it's kind of got a kind of a granite type of a with lots of little sparkles.
And is it behind you the cliff goes up or the cliff goes down?
Well, mm, I feel like I'm on a precipice. So I'm on a
Like if you were to
precipice.
step back, you would go wee, you'd
No,
fall
the
down.
if I s so the cliff behind me would be more supportive, like, but if I were to
Okay.
step forward, I'd go "Whee."
Okay,
So
so
it
what's
goes
in front?
the cliff is really high behind me, and if I'm on a precipice, it must also go below me, but I can't see that.
Okay, so there's a cliff behind you that's sparkly
Mhm.
and sheer, and in front of you, what's in front of
All I
you?
can see is the block. I can't see. I
How
don't know,
how
it's huge, huge, like bigger
how
than I
big
sh
is this block? Like,
um, oh my gosh. So I shouldn't actually be able to hold it. It's so huge. It's probably at least 6 foot wide. It's probably 6 by 6 by 6. I don't know because I can't see, but it's
okay, cool.
huge.
6 by 6 by 6. Okay, cool.
And it's also of white, kind of like that concrete.
Cool. Okay, so my cube started small and it's got bigger. Okay, cool. So we can't see what's in front of us other than this big cube. Okay. What are you standing on?
A precipice, and that's also white. Oh, and you know what? It feels like it feels like I'm going to break the precipice.
You're going to break the precipice.
Well, I'm not saying I am. That's just what it feels like in this moment.
And what's up?
Uh, Up sky, um,
Okay, cool.
pale blue sky. So it's not white.
Pale
It's
blue.
just very pale blue. So I've thousands of colors of white in this.
Okay. So what we've got is we've got you standing there. In front of you is this huge white block that's concrete. Behind you is a sparkly cliff wall. To your left is sort of grey, foggy, and you see a bit of colour at the bottom. And to your right is wild animals, or you get sounds on, but you can't quite hear them. Is that about right?
Right. The only difference is the the block is starts at my like at my I'm holding it at my waist and it goes way above. So I can't see over the block at all. So
Okay, cool. So the
it's
block
no big
more goes up than it goes down. Okay,
yeah, so
got you.
I'm
Cool.
holding it kind of more like waist like and it goes way up.
Got you. This is when I normally use pencil.
It doesn't matter. It
That's
doesn't
good.
matter.
So it's more
Just
up than it is down. Okay,
mhm.
cool. Got you. And how do you deal with this in real life? Alison, how do you deal with this in real life?
I often freeze. Mhm.
Freeze. Lovely.
Mhm. Or
Cool.
I try to, or the other thing I try to do is try to jiggle it to see if I can, you know, make
Are you actually
mm,
carrying a huge concrete block?
yeah, so,
No, no,
try
no,
to
no. But in
like
real life, you don't try and jiggle a huge concrete block, do you?
well, if you maybe shift, see if I can shift it a bit. It won't
Yeah, but you're
shift.
not carrying it. Okay, but you freeze essentially. You freeze. Okay, cool. So when you said about this, like you said, if you didn't have this, your business would be up and running.
Mm.
Up and running. Up and running. What's that like?
um, I it means that it would be out in the forefront. People could see it. It means that I would
Yeah,
be
well,
out in the forefront. I would be talking. It would be
no, no,
alive.
that's how that would show up in real life. That's how that would
Okay.
show up. I want to know what that's like.
Oh, up and running.
Yeah,
What is that like? Hmm.
yeah, having a business up and running. What's that like?
Well, kind of like um, a fun fair. Um,
What's to your
not
left?
ex- left. Okay, left. Okay, so there are people off to the left, wandering around, kind of coming in, taking a look at it. There's some like cotton candy stands. Um,
So people
there's other
wandering.
interesting things for people to look at, fascinating things for people to look at and ponder.
So there's people wandering about. There's cotton candy machines, and there's other fascinating things.
Hmm.
Cool. What's to your right?
Mechanisms. So just a second, like pumps and levies and uh, cranks and the things that keep it running.
So pumps, levies,
Levers, yeah,
cranks.
cranks.
Essentially, like bits of machinery. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah,
And,
bits of
and are
machinery.
they all sort of working together? Is there like a machine thing going on?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. What's in front?
Oh, that is a big like roller coaster, Ferris wheel, you know,
So there's a roller coaster and a Ferris wheel.
yeah, in front. Yeah, roller coaster because it expands way ahead of me. So it's not 2D, it
Okay, cool.
expands quite a way ahead.
What's behind you?
Just a second. Um, Kind of like one of the rings from a three-ring circus. I see the ring, I can see the dust on the ground. Um,
When you say a ring from like a three-ring circus, like the ring, like the inside of a tent, like a that sort of thing, or
so inside the tent, sometimes they have a ring where the horses run around. So they'll have three
got you.
rings, and it's one of those. Like elephants can go in or whatever. It it keeps the act contained and out of the
Cool.
audience.
And what you standing on?
Um, dirt, dirt,
Wet dirt,
packed.
dry dirt.
It's packed. It's packed dirt, but a little
Okay,
bit of
cool.
dust, little dusty, but underneath of
And what
it's packed.
and what's up?
Uh, okay, interesting. It is. It's kind of just after sunset, so there's still colors in the sky, and there's little bits of star twinkle.
Got you. So essentially, you're standing there on packed dirt. You've got roller coaster Ferris wheel in front. You've got
Mhm.
pumps, levies, cranks, essentially machinery to your right, to your left. You've got people, cotton candy, fascinating things. You've got like a ring circle behind that you'd find at a circus. It keeps things contained.
Yep.
All right. Cool. I think we're gonna do one more. Uh, you talked about how it's like you. One of the challenges is like you feel like you're stuck in a box with this thing. You said,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like you think yourself out of the box. So what's that like?
Cramped. Just a second. I'll get there. I just have to.
No, cramped
Uh,
is good. What's to your left?
um, White walls.
What's to your right?
White walls.
What's in front?
White walls.
What's behind?
Yeah, white walls.
And what you're standing on?
I'm sitting.
And what's up?
Uh, White floors. Kind of got gloss on it.
Hmm. And what's up?
Um, so it's it's also covered, but it feels like it's a big piece of white paper or cardboard, um, and it feels like there's this a little crack, little tiny where it hasn't settled all the way. So down on top of the box.
Where is that crack or thing?
The top of the box. Well, I'll put it in the screen so you can see it, but it's up ahead of mine. So the top of the box is like this, and then the oh, here we go, and then the paper kind of is like laying like this. Does that make
Got you.
sense?
So directly up and in front of you, there's like a little slot that you can see.
Well, I could almost see. Yes.
You could almost see what's
Almost,
outside the
almost
box.
see what's on the other side. I know
Exactly.
there's something on the other side. I know that, yeah.
Cool. So you're sitting there, white wall to your left, white wall to your right, white wall in front, white wall behind, this sort of papery cardboard thing over the top. There's like a little gap. And
Mhm.
how do you deal with this in real life, Alison? In real life, how do you deal with this?
All the energy goes out of my body. I feel like I'm sitting, but I feel like I just spin in circles as I'm sitting.
So in this, are you spinning in circles?
Yeah, kind of like,
What's the
just going.
mechanism of the spinning?
Um, so I think I mentioned the floor was glossy.
You
So
do.
I'm pushing myself around and
Oh,
around
so
to see.
you're spinning yourself around in circles.
I'm spinning myself in circles. Yeah. Like trying to look from
Spin
all the
right
different
round,
angles.
baby, right round.
Round.
Lovely. Okay, cool. So you're spinning yourself around. Well, at least you're putting the effort in.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said.
Mm-hmm. Even though all the energy's out, I'm still I'm still trying to look at all the different angles.
Got it. So let's come to this beautiful drawing. I should maybe redraw this, but screw it. So just to
Good
just
enough.
to rephrase, what we've got,
Okay.
you've got a sheer sparkly like cliff face behind you. You're on a
Mhm.
precipice. To your left is grey, foggy clouds. To your right is wild animals, and you're carrying this huge concrete block that's like 6 by 6 by 6, and it's
Mhm.
from about maybe like your waist up, and you're carrying
Mhm.
this thing.
Mhm.
Okay. So in this situation, it's quite clear there's no going back. Well, I mean, you
Mm.
you could go back, but if you were to, you'd really have to scale something quite sheer.
Mhm.
Background is quite pretty. Some
Mhm.
people might even say it looks a bit feminine. There's definitely a sparkle to what's in the background regarding
Mhm.
this. Now, what's right is a little bit wild.
Mhm.
The right thing to do could be said to be quite wild, but you really don't see what's there.
Mm-mm.
Now, I don't know if there are real animals right for you, or if there's something animalistic that's right for you, or maybe it's just a system that creates those kind of noises. But there is a lot of noise that's right,
Mhm.
that seems, at least on the surface of it, natural.
Mhm.
You can't see it.
Mm-mm.
Now, there's a bit of an environment that's left for you. You can't really see either what's left for you.
Mm.
It's a little bit unclear. And what's interesting is it's not that you can't see what's left, it's that the environment that is left for you is just not clear. I mean, it's not black and white,
Mm-mm.
but also it's not bright and vibrant either. It's
Mm-mm.
just a bit grey. I
Mhm.
mean, I know that you're in the States, but some people are very English, a bit overcast, not really. I mean, it's not quite 50 Shades of Grey,
Mm-mm.
but actually, if you look down and you try and look under what's left, things do seem a little bit brighter.
Mm.
And you can't see what you're looking forward to either, because the only thing you look forward to is this ridiculous block.
Mhm.
Some people might call it your writer's block,
Mhm.
but you're carrying it and you're handling it.
Mhm. I'm handling it.
Yeah, you are handling it. You've got a
Mhm.
hold of it.
Mhm.
And what's interesting is if we look at, so size in metaphor relates importance. And
Hmm.
this block is 6 by 6 by 6. So, I mean, I think of 6 foot like a door. So this is bigger than you, this thing. If
Hmm.
anything, it could be said to be at least 4 times the size of you. So it's 4 times as important as you are. So you put a lot of weight on this.
Well,
Or maybe it's putting, you are
6 foot. I am 6 foot tall, so it could be
nice.
the same size as me, 6 by 6 by 6. I don't
Wow. So
know.
it's like Alison cubed.
Could be.
Alison cubed. I mean, there's lots of angles we could look at with that.
Hmm.
If anything, there's a symmetry to it. There's a reliability when it's 6 by 6 by 6 because it's all the same. The sides of it are all the same. The dimensions, the points are all the same.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you could try and manipulate this in different ways, but if you were to get back to a hold on it, all the faces, you'd be faced with the same thing.
Mm.
Oh, but it also prevents you from doing anything else.
Hmm.
Stops you from handling anything else because you're too busy handling this. And
Hmm.
you're clearly taking responsibility for it. But I think the biggest thing that I think is interesting is in all directions, you can't see for shit, as they say in English.
Nope. Can't
So
make
there's
anything out clearly.
exactly that. Well, there's no outlook.
Mm-mm. No
You've got
clarity.
no real solid point of contact other than that
Mhm.
thing you're holding, and that's stopping you from seeing anything else because you can't look forward to anything. What's right and left is a little bit foggy and unclear. And yeah, I mean, the background is at least sparkly.
Mhm.
So let's just imagine, Alison, you and I walking down a strange road, and we see this woman standing there holding this off block. Wild animals to the right, grey folk to the left, sheer sparkly thing behind. Don't worry, we know how to deal with this. We've seen this before, love. She goes, freeze. Good advice.
I know.
Any better advice, Alison?
I mean, it would stand to reason to put the damn block down and go around it.
Put the block down, go around it.
But we're on a precipice.
Mm,
Hmm.
we are. So it could, well, she says she's on a precipice, but she can't actually see the edge.
No, I don't know how far. I don't know how far the edge is. Hmm.
Well, you see, this is the
I
thing.
mean,
You say you
uh,
feel like
uh,
you're on a precipice, but sometimes our feelings can be deceiving. Now, I'm not saying you're not on a precipice,
mhm,
but realistically, the thing that you're too busy handling stops you.
mhm,
Because if you were to progress holding this thing, if you were to take this with you, and there was a precipice, you'd go over the edge and you wouldn't see it coming. If
mhm,
anything, the weight of this block carrying you could actually take you over the edge first,
mhm,
and you might come tumbling down.
mhm.
But then again, you only feel like you're on a precipice. We don't necessarily know because you can't see that far ahead.
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't say this. I mean, some people might call this person a bit short-sighted.
Mhm. Or making
So,
herself short-sighted.
or making herself, yeah.
Mhm.
So this big box, Alison, where are you taking it to? Where are you going with it?
Well, right now I'm just trying to manage holding it.
Oh no,
Manage it.
Alison, that's what you're doing. I didn't ask that. I want to know where you're
Good.
taking it. Where are you going with this thing?
Hmm. I am taking it. Wow, that's interesting. Uh, I I want to take it
I didn't
down
ask
the
you where
road.
you wanted to take it,
I'm
Alison. I
getting
didn't ask you that.
getting there.
Or where are you taking it? Where are you going with this?
To another cliff to throw it off the cliff.
I think that's just optimism, Alison.
I think so too.
Yeah. So, but where are you actually taking it? Where are you actually going with this thing?
Um, so right now, it's I'm not going anywhere with it. Like I
Well,
am
yeah, but you got
just
it. So where
holding
are
it.
you taking it to? Where are you going with this thing?
That's a great question. Where am I going with this thing?
Yeah, where are you going with it? Where are you taking
I
it?
have no. No idea where I don't even have any
Oh,
idea where I'm taking
it's
it to.
time to look, Alison.
Mhm.
It's time to look. It's time to wake up. Where are you carrying this thing? Where are you taking it to?
Well, a funny thought popped up in my head. I don't know. It says, "Somebody else needs it." Doesn't make any sense. I'm telling you what popped up in my head.
No, I got that, but that's still not answering the question.
Yeah.
So where are you taking it to? Where are you going with this thing?
I still haven't a clue where I'm taking this thing.
Okay, well, let's look at it. In a year's time. We still got it in a year's time?
Yeah, in a year's time, well, hopefully not, but in
Well, I'm
this,
hoping.
I
Do we
know,
have it in a year's time, Alison?
um, in a year's time,
Yeah, you still got it, right?
yeah, I'm still right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, there we go. We still got it. Okay, cool. So now we're making progress. Okay, so we're taking it somewhere. A year's time, 5 years down the line, we still got this thing. Where are you taking it to? Where are you going with it?
So no, 5 years down the road, it's the block itself is crumbled,
No, I
and
think that's wishful thinking, Alison. I think that's
could
wishful
be.
thinking. Where are you
I'm just
actually
letting.
taking this block? This big concrete block. Where are you taking it to? A year down the line, you still got it. Where are you taking it? Where are you going with this thing, Alison?
Mhm. That's a great question. I don't see anything of where I'm
No,
going.
2 years down the line, you still got it.
Mm.
We know we got it in a year's time, making progress. Where are we taking this thing to? Where are you going with it? You got a year's time, still got it.
So
Yes.
yeah, but the block itself has changed.
Okay, but you still got it, right? You're still
I still
holding on
have,
to it. Yeah,
yeah.
you still got it. Okay, cool. Block change, maybe, but you still got it. Still holding on to it. So you must be taking
Yeah,
it somewhere. So where
because
are you taking it
because
to?
there's been weather and wind, and it's out of that
Ah,
porous. Um, I don't remember the name of that block, but anyways, if you get too much water in it, it starts crumbling. So it's kind of like
ah,
bad cement. Like if you get too much water, it starts
cool.
crumbling.
So it's not fully cemented in, but you need to rely on the environment in order for it to get smaller.
Oh, interesting. Or to break it apart.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well,
Cool. So
that's
where are you taking this thing to? Ultimately, where are you going with this thing? You've got this box, carrying it along. Where are you going with it? Where are you taking it? You got it in a year's time, got it in 2 years' time. Ultimately, where are you going with this thing?
hmm. Obviously I have no direction with it. I'm just, yeah, it looks like I'm just, well, at least in 2 years' time, I'm not in the same spot. I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
um,
Here's to hoping. Okay. 5 years down the line, you still got this thing, still carrying it.
5 years down the line, I just have little pieces of it in my hand.
So you're still carrying it.
Yeah, but now it's just little reminder pieces.
Like a reminder piece. Okay, cool. Ultimately, where are you taking this thing? Where are you going with this thing?
Fascinating. Uh, to spread these things on the ground,
Mm.
perhaps over a grave.
Mm. Whose grave?
I don't know. Let me think. Mm. It's more than one person. I can't read the inscription. And
So ultimately, you're taking this to a grave.
yeah, someone's grave.
Hmm.
or some people's grave, maybe two people. It's a kind of a.
Hmm. What are you doing that for? Because it's quite interesting. Because when we're carrying weights in metaphor, that represents a burden. So I can tell you're a
Mhm,
very responsible person. But a lot
mhm.
of people, when they're carrying these things, they don't want to put them down because by actively doing that, that would be irresponsible.
No, that yes, I understand that. And then, but it was like it's meant to be sprinkled on this grave. This is so bizarre.
Hmm.
Um, hmm.
I've never sprinkled concrete on a grave myself, but
A little, it's
let me
all
know how that goes.
crumbled.
Let's come to this one. So this is a situation where there's white walls all around. You're sitting down. You're also going around in circles yourself, and there's
Mhm,
almost like a cloth or like a bit of paper on top, and there's like a little gap.
mhm,
So, quick question for you, Alison. In this situation,
mhm.
are you human size or are you really small? Just because you mentioned there's paper on top, I thought I'd
Yeah,
ask.
like cardboard.
Cardboard.
Well, I'm human size, but smaller than I am. So I'm like like a regular female
Like,
size.
like, like a regular person. But you're smaller than you actually are.
Correct.
Okay. So it's a pretty big box.
Oh, yes.
Cool. So in this situation, realistically, there's no way out. Well, I mean, there is one way out. You look up to the way out, you see the way out. There is a way out right in front, but you've got to go up. You've got to elevate yourself to get out of this thing.
Mhm, mhm,
Now, there's no way right, no way left, no way forward, no way back. You're in a pretty blank space.
mhm,
Some people might say, I mean, you're drawing not just a little bit of a blank, everything's blank.
mhm.
And you're crawling around on your hands and knees, just going round and round in
No, I'm
circles.
not crawling around in my hands. I'm sitting cross-legged, and then
Oh, okay.
you can just, move yourself around.
Cool. So you're just going round and round in circles.
Mhm,
Cool. So you're using your hands, if I've got it right, just to push yourself round and round in circles.
mhm,
Cool. So the way you're trying to handle this is you're just going round and round in circles, looking for something different, but while maintaining your position.
mhm,
Now, there is a ceiling to this in some way, shape, or form.
mhm.
But also, you're not taking a stand for anything.
Mm-mm, tired.
Well, also, I don't blame you
Mhm,
because there's no way out. So why would you bother taking a stand? Because even if you did, you weren't actually going anywhere.
mhm.
Now, let's just imagine you and I walking down a strange road and we see this woman sitting there using her hands to go round and round in circles in this white box with a cardboard lid. Don't worry, we know how to deal with this. Just let your energy go out of your body. Is that a good strategy?
Well, apparently it's not working.
Any better advice for this poor unfortunate soul?
Um, well, yeah, get up, try to jump, try to see if you could climb up the walls, get out that little crack. Um,
Jump.
the walls are also slick.
Oh, slick. Well, because in metaphor, walls normally represent rules.
Mhm.
So they're slick, they're no resistance. But what's
Mm, lots of
interesting is,
resistance in the wall, but uh, oh, I see.
but yeah, it's just,
There's no grip. There's no
there's no
grip.
grip. Yeah, it's pretty smooth.
Mhm.
If you were to rub up against it, there would be no resistance. I mean, you couldn't push through it.
Mm-mm.
But we also know that because this is a container in
Mhm.
metaphor, and containers
Mhm.
represent our family, our upbringing, essentially the rules that we were born into. So when I look at this, I see that a child who wasn't able to get out, there was a glimpse that there was something outside. And she would go
Hmm.
round and round and round and round in circles, but she couldn't actually see what was outside. She just drew a blank. She didn't really have much room to move, and she could never really take a stand in this situation. She was too
That
small
would
for it.
that wouldn't be me as growing up.
Hmm.
That's me
You didn't.
now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in this context,
In that. Okay.
yeah, because there is no way out. Let's just try something for a moment.
Hmm.
Alison, just close your eyes.
Okay.
And sitting there, white wall to the left, white wall to the right, white wall in front, white wall behind, cardboard sort of lid on top. This isn't your fault because you didn't choose this. This is representing the walls and rules that were built around you in this context, which keep you trapped. So I think it's about time we grew up, Alison. So just do that. Just grow up, up, up. And I mean that literally. Start growing, keep growing, and tell me what you notice.
Well, the kind of like Alice in Wonderland, you know, you could push the lid up.
I
And so
could.
yes, so as I'm growing up, so as I'm growing up, I'm seeing the picture of Alice in Wonderland and peeking out, so I can also do that. And
So here's a
so,
so here's a question for you, Alison. Just open your eyes for a second.
mhm.
Were you the one growing up, or were you watching someone grow up?
No, that's what I was saying. I was the one growing up, and as I was growing up, I could see in front of me a picture of like Alice in Wonderland where she
Okay.
popped the lid, and so then I popped the lid.
And what happens?
Um, so I'm so everything is proportionally bigger, and right now I can see my legs. Uh, they're still in the box, but they've completely.
Okay. Keep growing. And how does that change things?
Um, well, I step out of the box. And it's still white.
Hmm. It's quite interesting because when I see somebody in a white box like that, it almost looks like a white box like that.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as we can grow up and grow out of these things, what we still see is a bit of a blank.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we can be so focused in life. I remember actually relatively recently. So I've been going to the gym, I've been trying to work out, and basically I'm looking to do another half marathon. So I've been doing my running and stuff like that. And I think last week I did a run about 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I'm trying to do for some of my weight reduction is you got to run within a certain heart rhythm. So if your heart's in a certain amount of beat, if it goes too high, you don't have the same sort of like weight loss, etc. So I'm looking, I'm focusing on my weight loss, stuff like that. And it's taking me like a good 20 minutes. And sometimes I'm going too fast, sometimes I'm going too slow. And my heart rate's still going all over the fucking place. And I'm like, just breathe, do like chest breathing, belly breathing. And I'm just really trying to get a real handle on like my breath, making sure that I can be within that range. And it got to that point where I think it was maybe like half an hour in. And I was just focusing forward and I was just running. And as I was just running, as I was just doing things, taking the steps, I looked at my watch and I was like within the range, actually a lot lower than I normally would be. I'm like, this is freaking awesome. I was like, wow. So by the act of me just actually stopping focusing on it, stop handling it, stop dealing with it, I actually ended up achieving the thing I wanted to achieve. And it was really quite strange how those things happen. Because if we look at this image, there's no clear direction. There's no clear destination. It's not really clear where you want to go. Now, in metaphor, there are 5 things that we're going to talk about for today There's 4 things to achieve an outcome. You need a direction, where you're going. You need a distance, you need a rate, how to get there, and you need a mode, how to get. So if we look here, I mean, you do have a rate and a mode. You could stand up and take steps, but you're not actually going anywhere because you're blocked, so there's no direction or distance. And similarly here, you've got this huge block, but we're also very much in the present because we can't see what's further forward. We can't see where we want to go. We don't really have a direction. I mean, you could take steps, but you don't know if you're going to go in the right direction and another direction, or if you're going to go off the edge because you can't really see further forward. But then when we look at it, when we look about, okay, well, where do you actually see yourself at the end? You see yourself here. This is where you want to go. This is what you said life would be like if you got there.
Okay.
Right? If you didn't have this problem, if you didn't have this block, you would say things would be up and running. So what you look forward to is pretty fun, pretty adventurous. It does have its ups and downs, but there is a rush to it. What's left are people mingling, enjoying themselves, getting things that are pretty sweet and experiencing fascinating things. What's right for you is a lot of mechanisms. There's a lot of mechanical things put together. And the background to this is a circle. So what this makes me think is your background to this could be said is a circle. If people were performing if you were to take a step back, you might find yourself going around in circles. Because there is a boundary to that which would keep you contained. And what you look forward to is a lot more entertaining. But the main challenge I see here, looking at everything, is we're so busy handling the weight of the thing that's blocking our way forward. It's stopping us seeing what way to go. Any thoughts, observations? Anything coming to you that you'd like to share?
It's very frustrating for me not to have a vision.
I get that.
Having been a person who's had a lot of vision, it's a very frustrating spot to be in.
I get that. Not having that vision, Alison, what's that like?
Okay, so I'm just going to start with the words that come to me first. Lost, death.
What's to your left?
Sandstorm.
What's to your right?
So again, I can hear sounds, but I can't see anything, and I can't.
Any
The
specific
sounds
kind of
aren't.
sound?
Yeah, they're not necessarily making sense.
Can you give me like a rough quality if anything's coming to you? Screeches, buzzes, mechanical, natural.
Natural. People could be animals.
Cool. What's in front?
But it's more than that. Like I can tell there's a whole lot going on there.
Cool. What's in front?
A wall.
What's behind you?
Um, I think this breaks the rule. It's memory. It's a memory of something. So let me just think. So I have, it's just, so a bunch of memories are flooding in, but what is actually there? Um,
Doing my job for me, Alison. Love it.
hmm hmm. Oh, oh, it's a veil.
A veil, like the wedding kind of veil.
No, more like a curtain, like a big gauze curtain.
And what are you standing on?
White shale rock, white shale rock. So it's
What's
small.
the
It's shale. It's slippery. Like there's a whole bunch of it's like little flat rocks that kind of slip all over each other.
Okay, cool. Do they move when you were to walk? If you were to
Yeah,
walk?
yeah. So
Never
it's
heard of
easy to
shale.
lose your footing.
Okay, cool. White shale.
It's a little sparkly.
God, I love a bit of sparkle. And what's
Well,
up?
at least I can see it.
That's true.
I can see it. What's up? Overcast.
And how do you deal with this in real life? In real life, how do you deal with this?
Well, I try to take steps and I slip.
In real,
Lose my in real life. Yeah, I'm trying to take steps and I like lose my balance or slide this way or
you
so.
mean you actually fall over in real life?
I No, because I don't fall. I don't end up on the
So,
ground. My
so
foot
when you're like,
slips.
so when
My
you
foot.
like lack vision, you're actually in real life, and like that, because that's
Yeah,
what you
I'm
might
not.
do in the metaphor. Okay.
And when I lack vision, I'm actually off balance.
So you
My
sort of
footing isn't sure. I don't have. It feels like my feet are slipping around me.
okay. Love it. Thank you.
Feels like no matter what I do, I can't. It doesn't work. So I kind of end up in the
So
same
what do
spot.
you so what do you do in real life? You stay where you are.
No, I try different. I try to take different steps,
Try
and
to take different steps.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. So
But
in this situation,
the ground's
yeah,
too. And
the
I
ground.
and personally at 6 foot tall, I don't fall very often, so
Got
I
you.
don't like to fall. So um,
I could imagine. So in this situation, there is no way forward. You've got nothing to look forward to. And
yeah,
to be
blank
fair,
wall.
the people who are quite successful, it can be quite a challenge because when through their life or their career they've learned and got a lot of success out of progressing, when they can't progress, it can be really frustrating
Mm-hmm.
because they want to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Now, clearly the curtain has been drawn in what's in the background. There's something materialistic in the background to this as well, but you can't quite see through that either.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's left for you is all up in the air. If anything, what's left for you is pretty dangerous and could kill you if you get stuck out in one. And what's interesting is sandstorm made up of sand, which is obviously lots of particles, which could be said
Mm-hmm.
like to be material. And like wind has got there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be said, I mean, you're left with the possibility of really being blown over, really being knocked over,
Mm-hmm.
with lots of minute things really hurting you, but that could be really painful if
Mm-hmm.
you were to explore that direction. Now you've got a pretty shaky and slippery understanding of the whole thing. And there's a lot of things going right for you. There's a lot of things going on in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But you're determined to look forward, it would seem. And also, you're just standing there. So you are taking a stand at least, but you're not really taking steps.
Well, Yes, because when I take steps, the ground goes underneath my foot, like
Oh,
my
no, I
foot
fully get that.
slides. Mhm.
And this is one of the challenges that we can have in life, because whenever we're taking steps with something new, something that we haven't done before, we're going to fuck up. We're going to make mistakes. We might fall on our arse. We might fall arse over tit. And we might need to get up and we can do the same thing again. But I get it. It's not a very solid understanding. And it's not really clear support in this instance. So I get the hesitation completely. So let's just imagine we're walking down a strange road and we see this woman on this white shale, wall in front, sandstorm there, curtain behind, lots of stuff going on to the right. Don't worry, we know how to deal with this. Just try and take different steps and things, and it's good
Mhm.
advice.
Well, it was worth a try.
Yeah. Well, because this is interesting, because when they say try, I remember I did this course called the Landmark Forum, and they say, okay, hold a pen, and then they say, try and hold the pen.
Mhm.
Trying has a presupposition of failure. Well, let's just take some steps and let's see what happens. So
Mhm.
let's just try this, Alison. So just close your eyes for me.
You could say, or you could take a go at it.
You could take a go. Let's just try something. Just close
All
your
right.
eyes for me, Alison. So standing
Mhm.
there on that white shale, wall in front, curtain behind, sandstorm to the left, sounds and stuff to the right. Just take a step to your left and tell me what you notice.
I'm in the midst of the sandstorm.
And what happens?
I mean, I mean, other than being kind of pelted by some of the sand, like my eyes are closed.
And how does that change
But
things?
I think how long is a sandstorm can't last forever.
Okay, go back to the original position and take a step back and tell me what you notice.
Well, I'm closer to happier days.
And what happens?
Nothing, because those are behind me.
And how does that change things?
Well, I could try to pull some of the memories through that gauze. I mean, I don't know how that works in a metaphor.
Okay, go back to the original position. Take a step forward and tell me what you notice.
I'm right up, nose to the wall.
And what happens?
Or toe to toe. Actually, it's toe to toe. I don't want to be that close to the wall. I mean, I can't see anything at all. I don't have any perspective. I don't have any capacity to do anything.
And how does that change things?
Just a second. So I'm wondering if the wall is painted glass and if I could kick it with my toe and if it would crack. That's going through my head.
I mean, you could give it a try if you fancy it.
Yeah, if it's glass, it's thick, and my little toe is not really.
Yeah. Could be
It's
pretty
not.
painful, I could imagine. Okay, go back to the original position.
Just a second, but so now I'm thinking. I wonder if I could like shoulder my, bust through with my shoulder. That's bust through it. Break through. Maybe I could break through that wall.
You could, and it would come tumbling down, and there's always a consequence when we break things like that. I mean,
Okay.
something for you to consider. But let's just take a step back and go to the original position. And take a step to your right and tell me what you notice.
Uh, well, I can hear more action and life and movement and things happening.
And what happens?
The thought that maybe I could just put my hands out and try to move through whatever I can't see to get to the other side.
And how does that change things?
Uh, it feels tiresome. It feels like it takes a lot of energy.
Hmm. Gotcha. Feel free to go back to the original position.
Hmm.
Feel free to open your eyes.
Hmm.
So it's quite interesting when we've got goals, when we want to achieve certain things, and sometimes we can find ourselves stuck. Sometimes we can lack vision, and sometimes we can not necessarily be exactly sure where we want to go,
Hmm.
what we want to get to. What is the vision? What is the outcome? I mean, I've always struggled with outcomes, and I've got better recently. And one of the experiences I had was when I was before I was a lot fatter, and yeah, I basically decided, okay, I wanted to lose weight. So I basically signed up for a half marathon.
Hmm.
And I signed up and I started to train. I started to lose weight. It was all good. I mean, the last 2 weeks were a bit dodgy, to be honest with you. But I mean, I got it. I did the half marathon and I was really happy. But then I looked and I'm like, well, I didn't actually want to run a half marathon. I wanted to lose my guts, the beer bellies that some men happen to pick up as they mature with age. And I'm like, I don't want that. So I had a group of friends of mine. I used to live in the Czech Republic, and every year they dress up as Spartans. So they like, obviously, and they look ripped. So I'm like,
Mm.
that's what I want. That's where I want to go. So I
Hmm.
started to work towards that. Now, I was like, I can't be the fattest Spartan, can I? I mean, don't get me wrong, I still was. But I went, I did the thing, I did the workout, I got fitter, I got stronger, I got more muscular. And that made me realize, okay, what I want to do next. So some of the times we can be so busy handling, okay, what I've got to do with my diet, what I've got to do with this, what have I got to do with that. Sometimes we can just decide, okay, well, let's just drop these things and focus on the actual doing, the taking steps, because that can actually start to take us in different directions. It can start to open up things. One of the challenges I've had quite a lot recently, because I don't necessarily have writer's block, but I've been struggling with the new area of business I told you I was developing because there's a lot going on. There's so many different things. I could do this right, that right, so many ideas. And one of the things I did is I did some work on myself using the metaphor stuff. But I just sat there and I sat through the pain, through the turmoil, through the stuff, and then just started doing things. And I think Andy's talked about it as well. Sometimes this thing to sit with the uncomfortable, the frustration, the boredom, the pain, sometimes we need to go through that blankness.
Hmm.
But that's my personal experience.
Hmm.
So, any thoughts, observations, anything you like to share as we bring things to a close, Alison?
Well, I definitely prefer moving and doing things than sitting still. um, um, I feel like I've been doing a lot of sitting still and it's still getting me nowhere. Well, okay, you don't sit very still because I'm trying to do little things here and there. But so okay, so that's just what came up top of head.
Yeah,
Um,
no worries.
and so it's interesting because before we got on the call, the metaphor for this writer's block was completely different. Like I had a whole different, still all white, you know what I mean? Um, in a paper boat, kind of going in a basin, but it's so the block that just spontaneously came up. Uh, in working with this, I had never actually seen it as a block. Do you know what I mean? Even though I say
Hmm.
writer's block, I haven't seen it. So that's interesting. And then the just being able the auditory sounds to the right, that's curious for me.
Hmm.
Kind of like it's calling me. Anyway, a lot to think about. I don't know what to think about it right now.
No, it's all good. I appreciate your thoughts and feedback, and I thank you for coming on and being a demo. If anybody else is interested in being a demo and doing this whole thing live, willing to go for it, do let me know. I'll be putting this up on YouTube as well, so that way, Alison, you can review, you can have a look at it if you want to refresh. But yeah, Alison, do let me know in a week or so how this goes, what starts to open up. I'd be intrigued to hear. So, Alison, what's been happening with your writing since our last session? Do tell.
Well, it's working. That's what's going on. Is that
Okay.
I have been even in writing emails, which for the last period of time have it's taken quite a bit of effort for me to figure out how to write them. Having been a writer, so I have high expectations, of course. But even in writing emails, it's like, oh my gosh, I just wrote that email in like 5 minutes instead of, an hour or a half hour or whatever.
Wow. Awesome.
So that's exciting. And so when I'm writing, there's I had a lot of white space when I was writing, and just instead of like blackness or darkness, it was just blank white.
Yeah.
And different shades of white. And so there are some color coming in. So which means I have colorful words. And here's an unexpected okay, so here I'm losing my words. Here's an unexpected benefit that I just realized as I was chatting with somebody else today. I used to have quite a vocabulary, and so that's something I've been trying to get back. And it was just like boom, 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 all these like nice, meaty, very descriptive, multisyllabic words were just flying out. And so it was like, oh my gosh, there I am again.
Boom! The writer's block has gone, and now it's colourful flamboyance back, or at least improved. At least
it's improved. It's improved. So I'm so excited about that. Yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Beautiful. Well, I thank you for coming on. I know we had a chat quickly before, but yeah, thank you for sharing the change.
Absolutely.
And yeah, do keep in touch. I'd really love to hear how your writing continues to evolve, my dear.
I will definitely. I'll write you.
So if you found this interesting, intriguing, and want to know more, feel free to like, subscribe, and as always, keep on taking steps.